Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my material today. My name is Nabila Pipin Benasti and today I will present a topic entitled Style, Context, Register, and Stereotype in Sociolinguistics. Before we begin, please note that the theories and discussions I will explain are mainly taken from Jonas Holmes' book, An Introduction to Sociolinguistics, supported by several sociolinguistic theories from other scholars. And during this presentation, I will explain the theoretical concept, analyze BBC News articles, and discuss several case studies to show how language is influenced by society. And now, let's begin with the first topic. First, I would like to explain the concept of style. According to Holmes' 2013, style refers to the variation of language that people use depending on the social situation, the conversation partner, and the purpose of communication. So, in daily life, we naturally change the way we speak. Like for example, when talking to the lecturer or professor, we usually choose more formal expression. While when talking to close friends, we use more relaxed language. And there are several important characteristics of styles. First, style is flexible because it changes according to the situation. Second, it is influenced by age, social status, social relationship, and the level of formality. Third, speakers often experience styles shifting when the context change. This means that one person can use different language styles in different situations. The key concept of styles is the language choice is influenced by both the audience and the communication situation. So generally, the more formal the situation is, the more formal the language becomes. So, according to accommodation theory proposed by Gill, speakers adjust their language through convergence or divergence. And Bell audience design theory also explained that the audience play a major role in determining language style. So therefore, style is not only for formal or informal language, but also about identity, social relationship, and communication strategies. Second, uh, is context. So Holmes explained that context refers to the social conditions surrounding communication, including the participants, the setting, the topic, and the purpose of interaction. So context has several characteristics too. It influences language choice, affects how utterances are interpreted, and explains why the same sentence may have different meanings in different situations. Therefore, language cannot be separated from its context. Helmas also introduced four important social dimensions that influence communication, namely social distance, social status, formality, and communicative function. And this dimension determine which language is considered appropriate in a particular situation. So, from this explanation, we can conclude that a successful communication depends not only on grammar or vocabulary, but also on understanding the social situation in which language is used. The third concept is register. According to Holmes, register is a language variety associated with a particular profession, activity, or social group. So every profession has its own vocabulary and expressions. There is some characteristic of register are the use of technical terms or jargon, its connection to specific professional activities, and its distinctive communication patterns. For example, like doctors use medical terminology, lawyers use the legal language, and teachers use educational terminology. So, the key idea that is register develops because different communities have different communication needs. Although the register makes communication more efficient among experts, it might confuse people who are unfamiliar with the specialized vocabulary. And now, I will discuss the first example taken from BBC News entitled US 2 Pro Petrol Price Gouging Claims Trump Says. So, from the perspective of style, the journalist used formal and objective writing style, while Donald Trump used expressive language, such as the praise, "Those prices are dropping like rock," to persuade readers and create an emotional effect. So, from the perspective contents, the meaning of the word goat can only be understood if readers know the political and economic situation related to oil prices and the Iran conflicts. And the perspective of register, the article contains political and economics terminology such as crude oil, Brent crude, global markets, and Department of Justice. And these expressions indicate that the article belongs to a political and economic register. So, using Halliday models of register, we can identify the field as fuel prices and government policy, the tenor as President Trump communicating with the public, and the mode as an online news article. And overall, this article demonstrates how style, context, and register work together to construct meaning. And then, next, I would like to discuss the second article entitled Food Labels Have Far-Reaching Effects on Our Health. So this article is another good example of how style, context, and register interact in sociolinguistics. First, from the perspective of style, the article used a formal, informative, and educational style. Like the writer does not try to persuade readers emotionally. Instead, the article presents facts, research findings, statistics, and expert opinions to explain how food labels influence people eating behavior. So this makes the article objective and informative. Second, from the perspective of context, the discussion is closely related to the current global issue of obesity and the increasing consumption of ultra-processed food. And the readers need to understand this public health background to fully understand why food labels policies are important. Third, the article clearly demonstrates a public health and nutrition register. So, technical terms such as obesity, BMI, Nutri-Score, consumer behavior, and ultra-processed foods are frequently used. So these terms are common among health. These terms are common among health professionals, but may not always be familiar to the general public. So this example can also be analyzed using Halliday model of register. The field focused on nutrition, obesity, and public health policies. So, and the tenor involves research, health experts, journalists, and general readers. The model is a written online news article intended to educate society. So, overall, this article demonstrates that language choices are strongly influenced by communicative purpose. The formal style increase credibility. The context helps readers interpret the message, and the register reflects the specialized field being discussed. And if we compare both BBC articles, we can observe to the two different register. Like the first article belongs to a political and economics register, while the second article belongs to public health and nutrition register. Also, both are news articles, so their vocabulary and language choices different because they are discussed different fields. So after discussing style, context, and register, we can now move to another important concept in sociolinguistics, namely stereotype. Unlike the previous concept, stereotype focus on how language reflects and shapes people's perceptions of different social groups. According to Walter Lippmann, stereotypes are pictures in our head. So, in other words, like stereotypes are simplified mental image that people create to understand the social world. So, since people cannot experience every social reality directly, they often rely on these simplified ideas when thinking about particular groups. So, the Beukenboom and Amsterdam further explain that stereotypes are cognitive representation consisting of shared beliefs and expectations about people's behavior, so characteristic and traits. And these beliefs are not created like individually, but are maintained through communication and everyday language. So, Next, there are several important characteristics of stereotypes. They simplify complex social information, represent shared beliefs about social groups, influence people perception and judgment, and may lead to prejudice and discrimination, and are continuously transmitted through language. And the key concept is that people often respond not to reality itself, but to their mental representation of reality. Therefore, stereotypes shapes attitudes, expectation, and behavior toward different social groups. So, from a social-linguistic perspective, language plays an important role in spreading stereotypes. Every time people repeatedly describe a particular group using similar labels or expressions, those stereotypes become stronger within society, and these ideas is explained through the social categories and stereotypes communication framework proposed by Bookabum, which argues that communication continuously reproduce stereotypes. Therefore, stereotypes are not only psychological phenomena, but also uh, linguistic and social phenomena. So understanding the stereotypes help us become more critical of the language we use and encourage us to communicate more fairly and respectfully. Now, I will explain the first example for topic 2, and the article is entitled, What Does Trans Mean and Why Is There a Debate About Transgender People's Rights? So, this article demonstrates the concept of stereotype because it discusses transgender people as a social group that is often surrounded by different public opinions and assumptions. So, again, according to Walter Lippmann, stereotypes are mental pictures that simplify complex social realities. So, in this case, transgender people becomes a social category interpreted differently by different members of society. So, the context of the article is also important because the discussion is influenced by the UK Supreme Court's decision regarding the legal definition of woman based on biological sex. So therefore, readers need to understand the legal, political, and social background before interpreting the issue. So, another interesting point is the language choices. BBC consistently use neutral and explanatory language instead of emotional expression. So, terms such as biological sex, gender identity, transgender, gender dysphoria, and gender recognition certificate are carefully defined so readers receive factual information. So, by using Lippmann theory, we can understand that many people form opinions about transgender people through simplified mental images rather than direct experience. So, BBC attempts to reduce the stereotypes by representing a balanced explanation and multiple perspective. So, from a sociolinguistic perspective, this article also reflects power relations among legal institutions, advocacy groups, women organizations, and the general public. Like at the same time, it promotes values such as equality, inclusion, fairness, and human rights. So therefore, the article shows that language can be used not only to reproduce stereotypes, but also to challenge them. The second example discussed the article Female Performers Tales of Sexual Harassment at Work. So, the main sociolinguistic phenomenon in this article is gender stereotype. So, female performers are often judged according to their appearance rather than their professional ability. According to Walter Lippmann, these judgments comes from simplified mental image that society has developed over time. So the article is situated within the context of gender inequality and the hashtag #MeToo movement. BBC reports the issue through interviews, statistics, and expert opinions using a formal, factual, and informative styles. So according to Lippmann's theory, the stereotype influence attitudes and behavior, and this article And this article, some audience members and industry insiders appear to perceive female performers primarily as women instead of professionals. So this can be seen through sexist comments, inappropriate touching, and unwanted sexual behavior described in the report. So the lexical choices are also significant. Expressions such as sexual harassment, sexist comments, groping, grabbed, and kissed without consent, and they only came to see my body, emphasize the seriousness of gender discrimination. So, the article also reflects the unequal power relations between performers, promoters, employers, and audience. So many women hesitate to report harassment because they fear losing employment opportunities. And finally, the article promotes the important social values including workplace safety, gender equality, respect, dignity, and women's rights. So overall, this example demonstrates that stereotypes influence not only people's thoughts but also their behavior towards particular social groups. And sociolinguistics help us understand how language both reflects and challenges these social beliefs. So, after discussing the theoretical concept and the analysis of our 4 BBC article, I will now continue with several case studies, and this case help us understand how sociolinguistic theories can be applied to everyday communication in academic, professional, and social settings. Let's begin with the first case. So, the manager says that every employee must submit his report. Although the manager intends to report to all employees, the pronoun his only explicitly represent. Let's begin with the first case. So the manager says every employee must submit his report. A good programmer should improve his coding skills. So, although the manager intends to refer to all employees, the pronoun his only explicitly represents men. So this is an example of gender exclusive speech. So according to Holmes, inclusive language is important because it makes everyone feels represented. Scholars such as Szczesny and Hellinger also argue that gender-inclusive language helps reduce gender bias. So a more appropriate expression would be every employee must submit their report. Next, the second case compares the definition of language. Sentence A is simple, whereas sentence B contains more technical vocabulary and information. Yeah, so this phenomenon is known as linguistic density. Like Halliday explained that academic writing usually contains higher lexical density because it communicates more precise and complex ideas. Like therefore, denser language is commonly found in textbooks, journal articles, and research papers. Next, the third case compares a simple sentence with a much longer sentence containing additional clause and conditions. So this illustrates linguistic complexity. According to Halliday, grammatical complexity increases when speakers provide more detailed information. So researchers such as Ortega also relate complexity to language proficiency, especially in academic and formal communication. Next, the fourth case compares two messages sent to a professor. So the first message is informal and may sound impolite, while the second message is polite and formal. This example shows that style change according to the relationships between speakers and the communication setting. Joss, Bell, and Copeland explain that speakers adjust their language according to their audience to maintain politeness and effective communication. Next, the fifth case, use the sentence, this project is really sick. So without context, the word sick usually means ill. However, among young people, it often means excellent or amazing. Hymns and Gumperz explain that meaning depends on the context of communication. Therefore, understanding context is essential for interpreting the speaker intended meaning. The sixth case compares a doctor says the patient's exhibit symptoms of hypertension with an explanation to the family saying your family member has high blood pressure. Both sentences express the same meaning but use different vocabulary because they are intended for different audience. Like Halliday explains, that register depends on feel, tenor, and mood, while Bieber and Conrad emphasize that register changes according to communicative purpose. So the final case states that women are naturally better at communication while men are naturally better at leadership. This is a gender stereotype because it generalizes people abilities based only on gender rather than individual competence. Like according to Walter Lippmann, stereotypes are mental pictures that shape perception. Bookeboom explains that language helps maintain these stereotypes, while Fiske argues that stereotypes influence judgment and workplace treatment. So, in conclusion, sociolinguistics demonstrate that language is closely connected with society, like style, context, and register, explain why language changes according to situations, audience, and communicative purpose. Stereotypes shows that language also influence how people perceive and treat different social groups. By understanding these concepts, like we can communicate more effectively, respectfully, and inclusively in both academic and everyday life. So this is the references as you can see. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. So thank you very much for your attention. And I hope this presentation has helped you understand how sociolinguistics explain the relationship between language and society. And if you have any question or comments, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you and have a nice day. See you on the next video. Bye bye.